Good evening, everyone. So, in this video, we will be tackling the chapter 9, which is all about health and disability income insurance. But before we proceed to our main topic, let us all first read the chapter learning objectives. So, number 1, recognize the importance of health insurance in financial planning. Number 2, analyze the cost and benefits of various types in health insurance coverage as well as major provision in health insurance policy. Third is assess the trade-offs of different health insurance plans and evaluate the differences among healthcare plans offered by private companies and by the government. And fifth, explain the importance of the disability income insurance in financial planning and identify its sources. And last is explain why the cost of health insurance and healthcare have been increasing. So now let's proceed to my topic, which is all about health insurance and financial planning. So what is health insurance? Health insurance is also known as medical insurance. It's a type of insurance coverage that pays the insured for medical and surgical expenses. It is a contract between the health insurance company or the insurer and the insured. So how does the health insurance work? So of course, if you pay a premium or fee to the insurer and in return, the company pays most of the medical cost. But plans may vary in what they cover because there are different types of health insurance. There is a type of insurance that may reimburse you for example, mga hospital stays, doctor's visit, medication. But there is also health insurance that do not pay those kinds of coverage. Additionally, health insurance protects you from unexpected high medical costs. So health insurance includes medical expense insurance and disability income insurance. So medical expense insurance, it pays only the actual medical cost, wherein the disability income insurance, it is a payment to make up for some of the income of a person who cannot work because of injury or illness. Now, health insurance plans can be purchased in several different ways. So we have here first the group health insurance. The group health insurance is a type of health insurance that an organization provides to its employees or members. And one of the advantage of this health insurance is they do not just cover their employees, but they also extend coverage to their family members, including spouses, children, and sometimes even parents. Now, same to the other health insurance, it also protects you from unexpected costs arising from medical expenses. And this type of insurance is cheaper and affordable because most of the people purchases this insurance. And not all employers provide health insurance to their employees because according to Affordable Care Act of 2010 or the ACA, it requires a large employers to provide health insurance coverage for all their members. So, needed ng at least 70% of the participation of the employer para makaprovide sila ng health insurance sa kanilang employees. And also, the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act of 1996 or the HIPAA set federal standard to ensure that workers would not lose their health insurance even if they change job. So, si health insurance, I see HIPAA, for example, is you decided to move from another group company, the HIPAA will secure you that you would not lose your health insurance even if you change your job. And one of the advantage of this act is the employees who move from the other company pay less than the regular employees who work there. So next is the individual health insurance. So this type of insurance is best for those individuals who are self-employed and also for those individuals who work in a organization but their employers do not provide health insurance to them, and even if they provide health insurance but they do not satisfy them. Now, the health insurance for individual, it offers flexible solution and options that are able to align with their health requirements and budgets. This solution addresses the diverse needs of individuals and families, offering a sense of security in today's dynamic healthcare landscape. So the difference between individual health insurance and group health insurance in terms of coverage, si individual health insurance is based on your needs, wherein si group health insurance is based on a multiple salary. When it comes naman sa ownership, of course, si individual health insurance, kung sino yung purchaser, yan isa biyang owner. On the other hand, sa group health insurance, the owner of this insurance is the employer. Kasi siya yung nagpo-provide ng health insurance to its employees. And when it comes to the portability, in individual health insurance, the policy stays with you. And group health insurance naman, the policy is tied to the group. So meaning to say, in individual health insurance, even if you lose your job, but you continue to pay the premium or the fee, you still part of the health insurance. Wherein sa group health insurance, for example, you lose your job. So meaning to say, yung employers mo is mag-stop sila ng pagbayad ng mga health insurance or mga medical expenses mo. So next is the Consolidated Omnibus Budget Reconciliation Act of 1986, or the COBRA. So if an employee becomes ineligible to receive an employer's health insurance benefits under certain circumstances, such as voluntary or involuntary job loss, reduction in the hours worked, death, divorce, and other life events, the insurer may stop paying its share of the employee's insurance premium. So si COBRA allows an employee and their dependents to retain the same insurance coverage but for a limited period of time, provided they are willing to pay for it on their own. Now, the former employees must be offered the option to continue health insurance coverage, otherwise they would be terminated. So si COBRA, this is best solution. For example, you lose your job due to the reason na voluntary or involuntary. So si COBRA is good for your situation, especially if you want to continue the health insurance coverage, but for a limited period of time lang. And not everyone qualifies for COBRA kasi yung coverage niya may be quite expensive. And especially, ikaw lang mismo yung magbayad san and why they can mo kahati. Let's say, yung employers mo, wala magabayad ng premiums. But according to my research, the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, the federal government paid COBRA insurance premium for those individual na lose yung job nila due to the result of the 2020 economic crisis. So there are types of health insurance coverage. We have here the basic health insurance coverage. It includes hospital expense insurance, surgical expense insurance, physician expense insurance. So hospital expense insurance, it pays for some or all of the daily cost of rooms and board during a hospital stays. So one of the example na gina-cover ni hospital expense insurance is the anesthesia, laboratory fees, dressings, x-rays, local ambulance, and operating room. So sa hospital expense insurance, their policy also limit the number of days they will cover because many policies require a deductible. So when we say deductible, it is the amount of money na pagabayadan ni insured or ni policyholder before si health insurance policy magbayad ng expenses naan. Next is the surgical expense insurance. It covers surgeon charge for a given operation or medical procedure, usually up to a maximum payment for each type of operation. So for example, on appendectomy surgery mo, which is si surgical expense insurance, i-set na maximum payment na $500 para sa procedure ng kanmo surgery. And if yung procedure ng surgery mo exceed si na amount, yung remaining expenses siyan is ikaw na mismo yung magbayad. So next is the physician expense insurance, the coverage which provide benefits toward the cost of such services as doctor's fees for non-surgical care in the hospital, at home, or in the physician office laboratory test. So same as to the surgical expense insurance, the physician expense insurance is have ang maximum payment na gina-provide nila. So again, if mo exceed ka si amount, the remaining expenses is ikaw na mismo yung magbayad. So another type of health insurance coverage is the major medical expense insurance. So this type of insurance can quickly go beyond the amounts that basic health insurance will pay. The coverage pays the large cost involved in long hospital stays and multiple surgery. It takes up where basic health insurance coverage leaves off, and every type of care and treatment prescribed by a physician is covered in and out. So si major medical expense insurance, mas bagas yung coverage na gina-provide naan rather than kang basic expense insurance coverage. But this type of coverage isn't cheap because yun nga, malaki yung coverage na gina-provide nila. Of course, malaki din yung premiums na babayaran. Now, some plans include co-insurance provision. So when we say co-insurance provision, it is the percentage of the medical expenses the policyholder must pay in addition sa deductible amount. Now, many policies requires policyholder to pay 20 and 25% of expenses after they have paid the deductible. So for example, yung total bill mo is $3,800. And then sa policy mo, yung deductible mo is $800. And then the remaining 3,000 there is owned by insurance mo na 20%, which is $600. So yung total bill na pagabayadan mo is $1,400, and the rest of the remaining expenses among yung pagabayadan ng health insurance company mo. So next is the stop loss provision naman. It requires the policyholder to pay all costs up to a certain amount, after which the insurance company pays 100% of the remaining covered expenses. Susunod is the hospital indemnity policy. The hospital indemnity policy is a supplemental insurance offering that pays directly to the insured person, not to medical providers. And the average person who buys such policy, however, usually pays much more premiums than he or she receives in payments. So, si hospital indemnity policy is in cash yung ma-receive mo kanaan, dili yung mga medical expenses. Through cash yung bayad naan kan mo, or ikaw mismo yung makadawat ng cash. And it's either yan na cash, gamiton mo siya sang medical or even non-medical expenses mo. And one of the sang hospital indemnity policy kay usually man di mas bagas yung premiums na ginabayadan mo rather than sang payment na ma-receive mo na insurance. So that is one of the disadvantage. Next is the dental expense insurance. This insurance provides reimbursement for the expenses of dental services and supplies, as such nga mga oral examination, mga oral surgery, braces, fillings, extraction, dentures. And this insurance also provide deductible and co-insurance provision na 20 to 50%. Next is vision care insurance. So of course, this insurance typically for the eye, mga eye surgery, mga eye examination, glasses, contact lenses, and treatment for eye diseases. So next is the psychology of dread diseases policy. So this insurance is best for those mga critical illnesses such as yung mga cancer, and the last one is the long-term care insurance. It provides coverage for the expense of daily health that you may need if you become seriously ill or disabled and are unable to care for yourself. So mostly yung purchase in na insurance is yung mga mga old people. Kaya sila yung mas need ng care, need ng medical care. But sang long-term care insurance kay mataas yung coverage nila, this is best for those individuals na bagas yung net worth. So next is the major provision in the health insurance policy. So every health insurance have certain policies na need mo ma-understand if una na mga policy yung gina-cover ng health insurance mo, kung una niya mga benefits, and also what are those limits na gina-provide nila. So here are some of the provision, common provision na makita nato in every health insurance policies. Number one is the eligibility. Now, the health insurance policy that provides coverage for medical expenses, some policies requires eligibility. Now, these policies requires you to meet specified eligibility requirements kasi may mga standard and qualifications sila if you are suitable or best for the services na gina-provide nila. And next, the assigned benefits. Some policies provide reimbursement of your payment when you turn in your bills and claims form. Now, assigning benefits, it let your insurer to make direct payment to your doctor or hospital. And the other one is the internal limits. And this provision outlines the policy that have internal limits. So if the policy has internal limits, they set specific limit of repayment for certain services. May mga maximum amount sila sa mga coverage of the services that gina-provide during your hospitalization. And if you exceed siya na amount, ikaw mismo yung magabayad siya na remaining amount kibali during your hospitalization. And next is the co-payment. The co-payment is the flat fee na pagabayadan mo every time mo ma-receive yung services. So mostly 20 and 35 fee yung pagabayadan ni insured before ni insurer bayadan yung balance na cost mo siya ng mga services. So what is the difference between the co-insurance how ng co-pays? So again, when we say co-insurance, this is the percentage ng covered medical expenses mo na pagabayadan mo after mo ma-meet yung deductible mo, where your health insurance pay the rest. Wherein si co-pays naman are the set amount na babayadan mo before or even after mo ma-receive yung services. So let's say for example, before mo ma-meet yung kanma specialist, need mo magbayad ng 50,000 fee. So, among yan yung co-pays mo na pagabayadan mo before mo ma-receive yung service nila. So, another one is the service benefits. The policy provides this provision list coverage in terms of services and not dollar amount. And next is the benefit limit. So, this policy provides maximum benefits either in terms of a dollar amount or in terms of numbers of days you spent in the hospital. So these policies just talks about yung mga limit na mabibenepisyo mo. And next is the exclusion and limitation. This provision specifies those services na wa gi-cover ng policy mo. It may include yung mga pre-existing conditions such as yung diagnose ka before your health insurance took effect. And another one is yung mga cosmetic surgery. And next one is the guaranteed renewable. Indicates na yung insurer can cancel yung policy or the coverage they provide unless if the insured failed or do not pay the premiums. And kasi sa yung one of the rules sa health insurance, if you pay premiums, then you get the service. Another one, it forbids to raise premiums unless raise all premiums to its all members. So, si health insurance company, bawal siya mag-raise ng premiums to a specific person lang or individual. Dapat if yung plan sila or yung decide sila na magtaas ng premiums, dapat applicable niyan sa all. Next one is the cancellation and termination. It explains yung mga circumstances where si insurer can cancel yung coverage ni insured. So for example, si Ann is non-payment of premiums, being dishonest, and as well as yung overdue premiums. So next is the health insurance trade-offs. There are coverage trade-offs. First, we have the reimbursement versus indemnity. So when we say reimbursement, a health insurance policy that provides reimbursement to its insured, it pays you back for actual expenses or medical costs during your hospitalization. Kasi when we say reimbursement, di ba, same as sa situation ng health insurance, si insured yung bayad ng premiums sang insurer, and in return, kay si most of the medical cost mo or most of the medical expenses mo bayadan niya ni insurer mo. On the other hand naman, si indemnity policy, it provides the insured with specific amount regardless of how much the actual amount may be. So again, si reimbursement, actual cost care yung provide naan ginabayadan naan, wherein si indemnity pays the maximum daily or monthly benefit. Next naman is the internal limit versus aggregate limits. So internal limit will cover only yung fixed amount for an expenses, yung mga daily cost mo, daily cost ng rooms, mga board during your hospital stays. Wherein si aggregate limits naman is a maximum amount the insurance carrier will pay for all claims with the policy period, typically 12 months siya. Next naman si deductibles and si co-insurance, di ba? Again, si deductible, set amount siya na pagabayadan ni policyholder or ni insured after ni health insurance company bayadan yung rest of the remaining amount. And si co-insurance naman, percentage na pagabayadan ni policy holder as well or ni insured after naan ma-meet yung deductible. And next is the out-of-pocket limits. So some policies set specific limit amount you will pay for covered healthcare services in a plan year, and after you reach or you meet that limit, the insurer will pay 100% of the covered healthcare. So si out-of-pocket limits help you to lower your financial risk, but of course they also increase yung mga premiums, yung bayadan mo. So last but not least, the benefits based on reasonable and customary charges considers the average fee for a service in a particular geographical area, then use a specific amount. So sad for example, in your area or yung country mo is yagkuan siya ng, for example, under ka ng surgery, and then in a country mo is 1,500 yung cost ng surgery na yung procedure ng surgery mo. So if ever mo exceed si anyang procedure mo, kung another expenses na need mo bayadan, and mo exceed sa 1,500 na i-cover ng provision or policy si na health insurance mo, the remaining amount again is the insured or the policy holder will pay the rest of the remaining amounts.
Good evening, everyone. So by the way, my name is Bral S. Masho, and I will be the one to discuss the disability income insurance. So when we say disability income insurance, this is the type of insurance that help people financially when they are unable to work because of their disability, such as having a serious injury, illnesses or getting pregnant. So, it is also originally designed to protect against loss of income. Kasi ang disability income insurance, it was created to help replace income that a person loses if dili sila makatrabaho because of disability. For example, si Norilyn is a construction worker and then she broke her arms. For several months, she can't work because of her injury. Yung disability insurance, mag-provide kay Norilyn ng money to cover her lost wages mintras sigpahil pa siya sa hospital or bahay nila. So young healthy people don't consider the risk related to their future earning potential. Kasi mostly sa mga healthy people, isip lang nila kay tungod healthy sila, dili na nila need yung disability insurance. To the point wa nila iisip yung other possibilities na basin magkasagit sila pohon or magka injuries. And this might affect their future ability to earn money. If pohon ma-disgrasya sila or magkasakit na like cancer, adto din nila ma-realize na importante gayud yung disability insurance because it helps replace part of their income sa work so that they can still pay their bills while recovering. So disability insurance also provides regular cash income lost by employees as a result of an accident or illness. So as what I have said earlier, na yung disability insurance hiyagatag yan sa mga auto ng regular payments para ma-replace ng income na yawala if dili sila maka-work, if injured ba sila or yung kasakit. So next, so these are the sources of disability income insurance. So first is the workman's compensation. Disability from on-the-job accident or illness. So amo kibaling ini yung mga otaw na yakatagaan sad na insurance if i-accidente sila sang pagtrabaho nila ang sian na company or business. So eligible sila makadawat sin na benefits, but also yung benefits na madawat nila magadepende sang kanilang salary or work history if madayo ba sila or dili. So next is the employer plans, short or long-term group disability policy. So many employers provide disability income insurance through group insurance plans. Kaya there are policies nila na mag-provide lang sila ng wages for several months only, whereas ang iban maghatag sila for your long-term protection. So next is the social security. Yung social security known siya as a source of retirement income, but also yaghatag isabihan sila ng disability benefits. So let's say for example, if ikaw isa ka worker na yagbayad sa social security system, yung benefits na madawat mo kanilan is magadepende sa salary mo, how pila da mo ka years na yagbayad kanilan. Yung social security is grabe silang ka strict sang rules nila. Kaya yung workers i-consider lang nila na disabled if ang kanilang physical or mental condition na makaprevent sa kanilang pagtrabaho, and that is expected to last at least 12 months or to result to death. And also mag-start yung benefits 6th month. So private income insurance programs. So it is privately owned income insurance company. Nga niisig offer sila ng different policies to protect people from the loss of income because of their disability. So this insurance gives weekly or monthly payment to those people na dili makatrabaho tungod kay kasakit or ka-injuries. And the amount that they will get is 40 to 60% of their income. So next is the disability income insurance trade-offs. So first is the waiting or elimination period. So this is the time you have to wait after becoming disabled before you start getting paid benefits. So a longer waiting period means cheaper premiums but leaves you without money for a while. Let's say for example, if your policy has a 90 days waiting period. So you have to wait 90 days before the payments begin after your disability starts. So the next is duration of benefits. So this tells you how long the insurance will keep paying you. So some policies pay for only a few years while others pay until you are older or even for life. Next is the amount of benefits. So this is how much money you will get from the insurance each month. So it's usually a percentage of what you were earning before you became disabled. So next is the accident and sickness coverage. So some policies cover disabilities caused by both accident and illness, while others might only cover accidents. Let's say for example, if you have a policy that covers both, you would get benefits whether you were injured in a car accident with a serious disease like cancer. So next is the guaranteed renewability. So this means that the insurance company can't cancel your policy if you get sick or injured, which means that you can renew it no matter what your health is like. So let's say for example, if you develop a health condition, the insurance company can't deny your coverage when it's time to renew your policy. So next is the high medical cost. So in 2012, healthcare cost 2.83 trillion. So in 2012, the total amount spent on healthcare in the US was a staggering 2.83 trillion. This reflects the overall cost of providing medical services, including hospital care, medications, and doctor visits. Second is the US has the higher per capita healthcare cost because US spends more on healthcare per person than any other country in the world. This means that only average every American contributes more to healthcare expenses than citizens of other nations. So the rapid increase in medical expenditures in 17.7% of GDP in 2011. So in 2011, a healthcare cost accounted for 17.7% of the US gross domestic product or GDP. Pasabot, nearly a fifth of the entire economy was spent on healthcare. This represents a rapid and unsustainable increase in medical spending. So next is the high administrative cost. So admin 26% of healthcare costs. So administrative costs are the money spent on things like paperwork and managing healthcare services. So instead of an actual treatments or doctors, for example, if yagpa-check up ka, party ng ibayad mo kay mukadto sa mga otaw na yag-ayos ng records mo or yag-proseso ng insurance mo. Dili lang siya ang doktor lang. And also, yung 26%, amo kibali yung cost na kakamangon sa ibayad mo. Moving on, so these are the reasons for high healthcare costs. So first is the sophisticated technologies. So, especially sa mga advanced medical technologies, they are often expensive to develop and implement, leading to higher costs for healthcare services. So next is the duplicate tests. So when medical tests are repeated unnecessarily, it increases the overall cost of healthcare. So next is the variety of frequency of treatments. So more treatments and greater frequency of care, especially for chronic conditions, add to healthcare expenses. It increases number and longevity of elderly. As the population ages and people live longer, they require more healthcare services over time, increasing overall costs. Next is the regulations. So the regulations, so especially sa mga government and industrial regulations, they can add administrative burdens and costs to healthcare systems. So next is the increase in emergency treatments. So in emergency care tends to be more expensive, and an increase in emergency treatments can drive up costs. Next is the limited competition. So in some areas, there may be limited competition among healthcare providers, which can lead to higher prices. So next is the rapid earnings for healthcare professionals. So when healthcare professionals, such as doctors and specialists, see a significant wage growth, so these costs are often passed on to patients. Next is the using more unnecessary medical care. So overutilization of medical services where care may not be necessary leads to higher health costs. So next is the built-in inflation in the healthcare system. So the healthcare sector has its own inflationary pressures, which causes prices to rise over time. Next is the aging baby boomers. So the large baby boomer generation is entering old age. They require more healthcare resources, thus it increases costs. So next is the other major factors like fraud, waste, malpractice. So fraudulent activities, wasted resources, and medical malpractice lawsuits contribute significantly to the rising costs of healthcare. So moving on, what is being done about the high cost of healthcare? So first is carefully review healthcare fees. So make sure medical services are fairly priced to avoid overcharging. Next is incentives to encourage preventive care. So offer rewards for staying healthy, like getting regular checkups to prevent expensive treatments later. Next is the community health planning. So plan healthcare services based on what a community needs to keep everyone healthier at a lower cost. So next is the prepaid group practice. So pay a set amount upfront for medical services so you don't get surprise bills later. So next is community health education programs. So teach people how to stay healthy, which can reduce the need for expensive treatments. Next is paying cash. So some people pay doctors directly, skipping insurance, which can make healthcare cheaper for both sides. And now, what can you do to reduce personal healthcare costs? So eat a balanced diet. Of course, dapat gayud mukaan kita ng mga healthy foods para dili kita magkasakit. Keep weight under control. Of course, kay para masiguro naton na healthy ang kanaton lawas. Avoid smoking. Yes, dapat kayo di kita maggamit ng sigarilyo kay amoy ang makasira sang lawas naton. Don't drink excessively. Yes. So, get sufficient rest, relaxations, and exercise. Of course, dapat matiyam kita matug, mag-relax. Hindi dapat kita magpaka-stress. And also that mag-exercise kita para maging healthy ang kanaton lawas. Next is drive carefully. Of course, para makaiwas kita ng sang mga aksidente. Protect yourself for medical ID theft. Yes. Labi na sa mga tao na mga labi na if on insurance mo. Dapat gid protektahan natin yung mga ID natin no para buhon if madisgrasya kita magamit natin yan sila. So, and that's all for the chapter 9. Thank you. And special thanks to Beyonce. Charot.